How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. It is day 3 of our 30-day video challenge. We're going to be doing 30 days of videos every single day, and every single day we're going to be giving away 50 million gold to one person on each video. All you have to do, and by the way, this is one of those videos, so all you have to do is just click the like, subscribe, and then put a comment down below. Today's comment is going to be the most profit you have ever made from flipping or investing in Runescape. And if you've never done either one of those, then you can just write that, I guess. After you've done that, enter in our giveaway in our Discord. You look in the announcements, you'll see the giveaway bot. All you gotta do is just click there and then you are entered. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 5 tips for a brand new flipper to use in order to start flipping and also to be able to make profit. If you want to learn how flipping actually works though, then check out our flipping school in the Discord down below. You can also check out one of our flipping series on how to flip on the YouTube channel. Flipping is easily the best way to make money in the game, with later on you'll be able to make profits of up to 10 to 30 billion or more per month. We actually have members making that in our Discord, and if you want any advice on that, just feel free to use the Discord down below. The first tip to improve your flips today is going to be to ignore the GE mid. GE mid is a nice way of knowing where an item will generally land around, but it's not a great way to set your offers at those prices, and I'll show you right here. This offhand ascension crossbow, I just instantly bought it. As you can see, I paid 112,500,000. Although the GE mid is 113,197,000. If I was to take this offhand ascension crossbow and put it for sale at the GE mid, I would probably be sitting there for a very long time, or it potentially would never sell at the GE mid. And that's simply because this item is down below the GE mid. There are several items that will be far above the mid and far below the mid, and they will both buy and sell way away from mid price. One of the most common mistakes I see from people who are trying to learn how to flip is that they will use the Grand Exchange mid as where they should be starting their pricing, and that's definitely not going to be very helpful. Now, if I take this offhand ascension crossbow here and then we're going to go ahead and sell it, I'm going to try to dump it in here and we'll see what it will instantly sell for. It did instantly sell for 110,500,000, which means that if we're looking at our sale history, oh, whoops, we need to take this out. There we go. Sale history, we can see that our offhand ascension crossbow is right now 110.5 to 112.5 mil. And that simply tells us that by using GE mid, we wouldn't be able to figure out either one of these pricing. So what you want to do is you definitely want to use price checks or other information to figure out where the item is. Don't rely on the Grand Exchange to be able to find your price. Today's questions are actually brought on by the people using our flip help bot in the Discord server. We have just added that so that way you guys can get the help you need if you want to just improve your monthly flips or whatever you're looking to do, and get those questions answered. Then all you gotta do is submit it in our Discord. That way, you know, I just thought it'd be a really fun way to help people out in a little bit more by just actually answering your questions one-on-one help. So you can use that anytime you want to, and it's open to everyone. Moving into our next question here, it's gonna be updating your offers. So this is pretty important, and it might seem pretty obvious, but a lot of people kind of just, you know, don't always do this one. You need to update your offers. If your offers have been sitting here for a while, especially if they look something like this right here, you need to make sure that you update them, and the amount you update them is going to vary depending on the item. If you are one of our Patreon members, we have a spreadsheet with all of the items that we flip in that, and it will actually tell you how long to wait to update and the amount to update by. The general term on this is if the item is priced something around this offhand ascension crossbow, then you could probably update it by something right around 100,000 gold. And then if it's priced a little bit higher, like something like this offhand blight crossbow, I don't even know why I chose a bunch of crossbows, but I did. I like crossbows, they're pretty cool. This right here, you might want to update this by something more like 200 or 300k. And then if the item is like 1 billion, then maybe you'll update by a little bit more. You get the kind of general idea that you don't have to update things by a lot when you update them, unless the item is shifting quite a bit up or quite a bit down. One of the most common mistakes I see is this right here, where people will put an offer in for something. As you can see, the GE mid on this Drader Concentrated Blast is 183.4 million, and my offer right now is 190 million. A lot of people will make the mistake of just letting this sit because they're like, man, I'm already above the Grand Exchange mid. I really shouldn't have to pay that much more. Like, is this really this expensive? And sometimes it actually is that expensive. Sometimes you do still need to update your offer. Maybe this is not buying until it goes to 210. This is just an example, by the way. Don't go use this price. This is an example of an item that is just buying and selling quite a bit above mid, so you're going to have to offer and continue updating past mid. Tip number 3, this one is a really big one. This is one that I know for sure. This is probably one of the biggest pieces of advice that I actually give people when they ask me how to improve on how much they're already earning. And it looks just like this. Let's say that we're flipping with about 2 billion gold right here. And then I'm going to go in here and put an offer in for something. Maybe I'm going to do an Eldritch crossbow, right? And then I'm going to do something over here. Another item, let's just say this item was 550 million, okay? Now I'm down to 48 million gold. I still have 6 slots left, guys. What I would highly recommend you do is to try to utilize as many slots as you can. That is going to make it so you have more chances of successful buys, and then that way you can start selling it quicker. If I am only flipping these 2 items right here because that takes up all of my money, I'm at the mercy of waiting for these items to buy. Maybe these are going to take a while to buy. Maybe they're not going to buy. Maybe this item is going to keep going up. And even if they actually are buying, let's say I make 5 million here. This is just an example, obviously. And let's say I was going to make 2 million here. If I used all 8 slots, I might be able to make 1.5 to 2 million per slot. That's a lot more money than if I was making 2 million plus 5 million. What you can do pretty easily in this situation right here is, instead of doing this blue party hat, you could also over here do like 3 Nox items. Those are still very profitable items, and they will cost quite a bit less than an Eldritch crossbow, and that will leave you with plenty of money to fill your slots over here. You could also kind of divide up how much money you have. If I'm looking at 2 billion gold, it's sitting right here. 2 billion gold, I'm going to go ahead and divide that by 8, and then that gives me about how much I should spend per slot. Let's say that you are a player that's working with a bit more gold. So as we can see right here, I've got something around 3.5-ish billion in my inventory here. This would make it so I can definitely flip some pretty expensive things. This is another one of the biggest suggestions that I make for people that are trying to improve how much they earn per month. What you can do is this. You just need to pay attention to not only the really big items, but also pay attention to these smaller items as well. A Nox Scythe has a ticket price of 338.5 million. Now, what a lot of people will end up doing is, because they can afford items this expensive, they will just start flipping a whole bunch of this item. Now, a Nox Scythe has an average margin of anywhere from 1 to 2 million on a normal day. And there's definitely situations where it can get above, but we're using an average here. That is 1 to 2 million. Now, here's the thing about that. You guys can use something like a worm heart. A worm heart, I was able to buy them for about 13 million and sell them for about 14.5 million. And they have a buy limit of 10, which means that I could buy 10 of those and then sell 10 of those on one buy limit at 1.5 million profit each time. That is the same average profit as I was looking at for a Nox Scythe, except obviously spending 13 million versus spending 330 million is a pretty big difference. Another great example of something that you could flip for a pretty high amount of profit would be something like an Orb of the Cywar Elders. Its item is only 19 million, but this thing will oftentimes have a margin bigger than an item like a Nox Scythe. Don't just utilize the items that are really expensive because you have that gold. Go for the items that have really good returns, really good flips. And last but definitely not least, because this is arguably one of the most important tips on this entire video, is to not forget about your overnight flipping. So if you are sitting here and you are flipping an item, if that item has been pretty stable, and I would definitely recommend focusing on the more stable items for people who are newer to this concept of overnight flipping, what you can do is overnight. So overnight kind of refers to when you'll log out for bed, or maybe you're going to go to work. It doesn't really have to be nighttime, it's just when you're gone for a longer period of time. And you can put in the buy offers for an item, and then that way when you log back in the next time, you will have bought multiple buy limits of an item. One buy limit is every 4 hours. So let's take for example that worm heart. This thing has a buy limit of 10 every 4 hours for, let's say, the 13 million gold. If I successfully buy 10 of them, that means I will have spent 130 million gold. Now, if I am gone and doing it overnight, let's say that I do actually go to bed, then I get a solid 8 hours of sleep. I also take a shower, have some breakfast, make some coffee, love coffee, probably make 2 coffees if it's me, and then we come back on RuneScape. That's realistically going to be about 3 buy limits because you're 8 hours of sleep and then your next buy limit starts. So if you bought these right here for the 13 million a piece and you successfully bought 30 of them, I log back in, I've now bought them for 390 million gold, and then I go in to sell them at the 14.5 million gold. That becomes a profit of 45 million gold right there from just one slot. So if you find some really solid overnights in every one of your slots, you can pretty easily see how much that could add up to. You could be waking up to literally a couple $100 million worth of profit every single night. If you guys make $200 million profit a day in your overnights, which is probably a good baseline number that you should start aiming for, then that will add up to about $6 billion profit per month by only doing your overnights. If you're one of those people who just doesn't have the time, then making sure you do your overnight flips is still an easy way for you to make multiple cash stacks of gold every single month. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I really hope these tips were helpful. If you guys need any more help, you can always leave in the comments about what you need help with, and I'll try to make that video for you. Thanks so much for supporting this 30-day journey of a video every day. This is a pretty fun thing to do. It's definitely helping me with my editing skills and really get me in the swing of making these videos. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.